It's been all of, what, 9 months? Hang on, let's get this over here. Since the last Svelte London. Where is it? Let's try that. It's always fun working across screens. Is this like mirror sharing? I've got infinity mirror. Was it fine? Cool. Right, I'm just going to rattle through these. If I can. Am I sharing the video ninja? Where's my actual slides? I can't even find my mouse. Oh, here it is. Right, so there's video ninja. Bring this back this way, right? And just do that. July 2026. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for turning up. So it's been very short notice since we had this be advertised and swung around the email list and stuff. So thank you to everyone who's turned up. Really appreciate seeing you here. So I'm going to try and go through these slides and make sure I'm clicking on Video Ninja again. Right, here we go. Right, Evroc are our hosts this evening, and I want to ask Hillary to come and say a few words for us and thank them for hosting us this evening. I'm just going to go.
Should I just slide in? Hi, I'm Hillary. I'm an engineering manager at evroc. Evroc is building a sovereign, attempting to be relatively carbon neutral European cloud. And we are doing that in this office and in a Stockholm office as well. Our team is building the entire console for this cloud provider service with Svelte. Hence, the Svelte meetup being here today. We're really, really keen on the framework. We've been using it for a couple of years. There were definitely some arguments with the CTO when I joined of like, are you sure you want to use Svelte? And I was not sure. I joined from a React background, which I think is probably something that other people have as well. And then we kind of were playing around with the language, and it became clear that we could iterate really quickly with it. We could build really quickly with it. The reactivity of it, the lightweight nature of it, just like the concise nature of the code that we were writing, how intuitive it was, how easy it was to pick up, made it kind of a, I don't know, a fun choice. Maybe not an obvious choice, but a fun choice moving forward. And I don't think we've looked back. So I'm excited to hear what people have to say. If anyone has any more questions about evroc, I realize I haven't answered that much. Compute, GPU, storage, etc. We do it all. But yeah, come up, ask myself, Ben, Oliver, Alistair. We all work at evroc. We're happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you so much. And thank you again to evroc. Just got to work my way around this side of the table. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so schedule for this evening is. I mean, it's been a while since the last meetup, so I'm not sure we've got. We're going to come onto this in the schedule later, but we've got Elliot Bentley, second time speaking, third time at the meetup. So thank you for putting this together for us to take a look at. And you know what? It's going to be long. There's a lot of stuff happens. So maybe we'll have if anyone has anything burning they want to talk about later as well, we could maybe fit someone in towards the end. But we need to be outdoors by 8:30, so let's just be clear on that. So depending on how long Elliot's talk is, and that was it. So I completely skipped past a load of other slides I was going to share as well. So. Community partner CityJS, woo! They've got CityJS Athens when is this? It's, of course, in 3 days' time. So you flying out soon?
21 to 23 of October.
23rd. 21 to the 23rd of October. And if you want a 10% discount,
Yes.
scan the QR code right now. Otherwise, did I see people's phones out? Very, very uncomfortable. I've got it in my WhatsApp, so you can scan it as well. It's fine. Huh? Who? Right. So let's just skip past this slide. We've got Zurich Conf September 11th, and then I want to talk about this one, and then give James a stern look. Svelte Summit is coming up. And I haven't got the dates on here, but it is, where is it? Can I can't share my tab. I'm just gonna look here. It is, why aren't the dates in there? Oh, November 19th to the 20th. James?
I'm going to have a child on that week.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. Svelte baby. Okay, cool. And that, oh, housekeeping. Toilets through this door, straight in front of you, yeah, to the right. And then if you have to come out, you have to sort of go around again. It's a fun little trip. Code of conduct. Just read the code of conduct. Don't be a dickhead, please. Thank you. And if you want to help donate to this biannual event now, scan the code and you can make a donation if you want. Oh, we've also got a starter pack on Blue Sky. And you can also tell I've not really looked at these slides for whatever, 8 months. So with that said, Elliot, you ready to come talk? Cool. I'm going to go and find an air conditioning vent because I'm melting. Right. Woo, Elliot. Yes. Right. Does that work? Will I be heard? Okay, and I need to. Is that mirroring? No. It works earlier. Did I break it? Did I touch it? I don't know. It thinks it's connected.
Slides always look great.
Always.
Oh.
Hey, there we go. All right. Okay. Hi. So yes, the nice concise title of this talk is some things that were added to Svelte since the last meetup. I thought the last meetup was maybe Christmas drinks in December. So I've basically done things that have changed in Svelte and Svelte kit and the ecosystem over the past kind of 7 months is the time frame I've gone for. This was a very last minute idea that I came up with about 36 hours ago. So I had to learn a lot in that time and throw together these slides. Yeah, first a little bit about me. I know I've met some of you before at previous Svelte events. Is this going to progress? Yes, there we go. So I work at a company called Data Wrapper. It's a small but mighty company based in Berlin that makes data visualization software. I work fully remote from London. This is one of our summer meetups. We are an entirely Svelte shop. Our visualizations are rendered, or at least the newer ones are rendered with Svelte. As SVGs primarily, and sometimes Canvas. But then our entire kind of product, the CRUD app that
that users use is all SvelteKit. We were quite early adopters to that, migrating away from an ancient PHP backend. Very satisfying. And Data Wrapper has been using Svelte for a long time, I think since Svelte version 1, possibly. And I don't know if you can see from where you're sitting, but our logo is included on the Svelte website because we are a financial contributor to the Svelte project, or have been in the past. Right, so yes, as I said, it's been a while since we last met up. I thought this would be a fun opportunity to just talk about some new Svelte features, because there's still there's been a bunch of activity. It's been kind of fun to watch from a distance. I think there have been about 10 minor versions of Svelte, and quite a few of SvelteKit. I didn't pull out those numbers. So I'm just going to go through month by month with just one or two highlights per month of interesting things that will make a difference to your lives as Svelte users. I should also say I'm not like a Svelte maintainer or anything. I didn't build any of this stuff. I've literally just read the public comments on GitHub and social media and things. So I don't have any special knowledge of this. That said, I did contribute once to the Svelte repo. It was a type definition correction. And yes, audience participation encouraged. Having spoken to a few of you before the talk, I can tell that some of you already know more than I do about some of the new Svelte features, and particularly some of the SvelteKit features. So if you have anything to add or you need to correct me, please feel free to shout out during the talk. I'd love it. Right. Wind yourselves back to January, before the burning heat of the summer we're experiencing. One nice feature that was added to Svelte: support for custom select elements. Now, this is technically a new HTML feature, but it was something that was kind of added with full support to in Svelte, because it's this new markup that wouldn't make sense beforehand. So if you're unfamiliar, the idea is we can now use native select components. You can't really see it very much in this screenshot, but you can see some of the options there, and you can put rich markup in those and just override all of the browser's base styles. And then you get all these new pseudo elements that you can style. So this is just a kind of basic example that Una Kravitz put up, just showing off what you can do with this. But the nice thing is that it just it's fully accessible and has nice fallbacks for users who are on older browsers, because in fact, older browsers being current Safari and Firefox still don't support this. So Svelte ahead of the game here in supporting these custom select elements. In January, there was also a Claude Code plugin released. Remember, January, everyone was going mad about Claude Code. I won't really go into any depth in this because I feel like it's changed so much already in the past 6 months. But I will just mention, if you weren't already aware, there is a whole AI section on the Svelte website, just with all the resources that have been kind of produced, details of the MCP server, skills, and plugins for various coding harnesses, I guess we would call them, like Claude Code, like Open Code. All right, February. This is a really nice quality of life upgrade. Comments and HTML tags. Now you can do this, inline comments. I mean, the number of times that I've had a component with or just an HTML tag with just so many properties, and I really want to add a little inline comment to explain what's going on there. And I'm sure Claude is going to have a great time with this feature as well. Another thing that happened in February, Svelte Check, which is, as I understand it, the kind of ESLint for the Svelte world, got some upgrades. the creator introduced 2 new flags, incremental and TSGo, which uses the much faster Go version of TypeScript. I don't know how this interacts with TypeScript 7, which only came out, I think, maybe a week or 2 ago, which is also very fast. And that is TSGo. Okay, so it's essentially the same thing. But I think this is, yeah, worth taking a look anyway. Sorry, what was that?
It was released way earlier.
Yeah.
It was like February.
Yeah.
They had really released like a beta version. It's interesting that the wizard make use of it.
Oh, I see what you mean. So you could use TSGo here, but like regular TypeScript users didn't have a kind of official version yet.
Like,
Yeah.
the public are kind of introduced to general public a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
Stable enough. It probably wasn't there. So that's cool that they just went ahead with it.
Yeah, really cool.
You also can't necessarily upgrade to TypeScript 7 yet because there's an API missing that is quite important for LSPs. And it's being worked on, and it, from the GitHub issues, there's actually going to be more features, but it still needs some time. So, yeah.
This is the next best thing until then, it sounds like.
TypeScript 6 and --TSGo.
I don't know if anyone's seen the examples though of TSGo and TypeScript 7. It's so much faster. It's really incredible. I can't wait to get that in my VS Code, and I'll actually have like working, you know, annotations for once. Okay, moving on to March. What happened in March? This is a fun one. It's not really a feature, but some kind of enhanced documentation. Anyone see this best practices page when it came out? This is something that I think was put together more for like agents, but actually it's a really, really great resource for just like how best to work with Svelte, particularly with runes and thinking about the new kind of reactivity models that unlocks. It's not particularly long as well. It's very concise. So I do recommend having a read of this if you haven't already, because I definitely picked up some useful tips. One of my favorites, which I overlooked, I remember at the time and was reading about today, was you can actually pass CSS variables into components, and then they're just available within the style tag. So you don't need to kind of like redefine it or anything. Really nice, just kind of automatic behavior.
Because previously, what that would do is actually create an intermediate div, which was
Oh, is that right?
what you wanted, especially if you were doing things with grid layout.
Okay, I did not know that. Yeah, that would be very annoying. Okay, moving into April. Wasn't a lot in the Svelte changelog for April, but one interesting thing that came out was ThoughtWorks, which is a tech consultancy that kind of rates different technologies and platforms and approaches, decided that Svelte was mature enough to be adopted. Yeah, you can all do it now. Come on, get with it. They have these the kind of caution, assess, trial, and adopt sort of badges, and Svelte was officially moved from the trial quadrant to the adopt quadrant. So hey, maybe this will be the ammunition you need to convince work to ditch React and adopt Svelte. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, moving through the year further to May. This is another one of my favorite additions, const and let in markup. You might think, okay, like you've already had access to const, right? You've got the little @const for defining these kind of temporary variables or constants, I suppose, within loops, which is more convenient than kind of repeating that operation over and over again. What that has been kind of superseded by is a new language feature where you can use const and let and wait, have I? Yes, you can use const directly without the symbol, and you can also use let as well. Did I mess up the example here, or have I got another example? Yes, I do have another example. Here we go. This is an example with let and const, and you can see that you can actually use the runes in the state. It's in the template itself. So we can define greeting as a derived, and then modify it within the on-click. More logic in the template. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but at least you have the flexibility of doing it. And these don't need to be defined like on the top level of a loop, as it used to be on the kind of first line of a loop. Now you can define them anywhere in the template.
But when you have a derived anywhere else, you must have it let.
Well, was it more confusing if at const was implicitly derived? It was implicitly reactive, you just didn't know.
Yes.
So I think explicit is better than implicit.
With a derived, you only need a let if you're like actually reassigning it, which you can do with a derived, but it's less common. And you technically don't need a let there either, because JavaScript mutability, amazing, but yeah.
So it's not reactive by default, you just have const whatever equals this.
If you need it to be reactive, you need to wrap the value that the dependencies in the derived.
Okay.
Which was happening under the hood before.
Yeah.
You just didn't realize, right?
Oh, and there's another arrow. Okay. See, here is something that was a late addition to the slide deck, and I don't know a ton about it, but Willow was raving about it earlier, so I was hoping that maybe you could speak to these, the live queries. Have I got an example? Yes. Oh, yeah. So as I understand it, this is a kind of extension of the remote functions that was added to Svelte last year. Is that right?
Yeah, it's just a new one.
The new remote function.
Yeah.
Suspense is killing me.
Was that a suspense guy?
Hey!
There you go. Can you visit URLs?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at this since it was released, so it's probably going to die, but you can read that.
Let's see. Svelte kit query live.ss10.dev.
It's working. Yay! There's this Claude one shot, and it's Wikipedia entries as they're getting added.
Can you talk us through how you or I guess
It's a bit tall.
Yeah, no, please.
It uses a generator, what's it, it's a function style? Yield function, there you go. And then basically something where it's pointing to has to change for it to run it. And it's about as much as I know. Is that what you got?
This is an example that I pulled from the documentation.
Yes, so you can see the function star.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Cool.
Just try that one.
Very nice.
What's that, sorry?
That's just an open endpoint for
Right.
Wikipedia.
So it's not scoped to a particular user or anything.
I think it's just open to everyone.
Yeah.
That's what I thought would be a good example. And I was amazed it still worked. And after, 4 months I've made it, left it, and haven't touched it since. So, yeah, good.
Nice, thank you. Well, that worked out well.
It's spectacular.
Yeah, it's WebSocket based, as I understand it, to have this continuous connection. But yes, read up on the docs, I guess, if you want to use real-time connections of some kind. Right, getting into June. This is potentially a big change to SvelteKit, is that svelte.config.js is effectively deprecated and no more. You can now read directly from the v.config.js. And I believe that in SvelteKit 3, yes, this will be the primary way of configuring Svelte. There will be no Svelte config, whatever svelte.config.js. bit of a DX improvement, I guess. One less of those annoying configuration files in the repo.
You'll still be able to use it, right? As far as I know, you'll still be able to use svelte.config.js. If you've got like a funky integration, which
I see.
migrate,
Yeah.
Going forward, I think that's going to be the sort of, if you scaffold something with S3 create, that's what you get. So I don't think it's been gotten rid of. I think it's just been, it's going to be deprecated but still work.
Yeah, yeah. But I think, as to your point, it is deprecated in version 3. That's the impression I've gotten from the communication online, and that the adapters and stuff of the toolkit tool chains have all been being updated to read directly from the meet.config.js. I think that's right. Another SvelteKit feature, and this is another kind of opt-in SvelteKit 2 feature that's going to be, I think, required in Svelte 3, is my understanding. This is not replacing environment variables with swear words. This is about validating environment variables. So obviously, right now, if you have an m.local and you have these kind of random strings and variables floating around, when you import it into your files, it's a kind of, I believe it's any type. And there's no sort of validation or anything. So the explicit environmental variables, the idea is that you add this new file that defines essentially a schema for your environment variables, which I think is, there are libraries that have been doing this. I remember a syntax episode about a library that did this, but it'll be built into SvelteKit. And the idea is that you can use, I think that's Valabot schemas to, so you can validate these. You can add descriptions. Of course, they'll be typed. And so when you're actually importing it, then you'll have all that good stuff. Types are good. I like types.
It doesn't just have to be Valabot. Anything that implements standard schema, so like type box, etc.
Nice.
It's also optional, but highly encouraged.
Or you could just write JavaScript. Who needs types? So July, we come to July. Not a lot of big releases in terms of the changelogs. I get the impression the team is mostly working on readying SvelteKit 3, which has come up a few times in this talk, and as I understand is fairly imminent. Some things that are changing in SvelteKit 3 that I noticed reading through the kind of draft migration guide. One is the $lib alias is being replaced by, would you say £lib, #lib? I feel like there's a kind of a British-American difference here as well, which I was trying to get my head around. And I guess this is actually a node feature using the pound that I wasn't previously aware of. So it's more kind of more native, but it does feel kind of arbitrary when you first come to it if you're not aware of that. I'm sure it's a good idea. Remote functions are still experimental. They're not being marked as fully production ready, although I'm sure plenty of people are using them in production. I feel like I should mention that. And they're dropping support for a bunch of older stuff, including Svelte 4, although you could be using the Svelte 4 syntax in Svelte 5 anyway. Yeah. There is a migration guide in a pull request if you are kind of terminally curious about what's changing. I had a read through, and it is a lot of refactoring. It's a lot of kind of small DX improvements and tweaks. And the kind of big features are actually already in SvelteKit 2, the ones that I mentioned earlier. They're just kind of behind flags or still being kind of treated as experimental.
Will there be a thing for doing automatic? So you just be able to run it and things like the hash, dollar to hash will get done.
I would imagine. I mean, it's completely standard syntax, so it's just nice to be able to define your import maps in your package data as opposed to sort of some arbitrary TLC.
But yeah, don't they have like a Svelte migrate? There's some.
They absolutely do.
Yeah.
It'll be SU migrate.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll hashtag just work. Inshallah.
Okay.
I'm using version 3 of the 31 project just to keep my hand on what's happening. It's changed by day.
Cycling changes quickly. It's brave to use like a.
Yeah, I think they took when you're loading environmentals, the static and dynamic out, and then they put it back in a couple of days later.
Yes, living on the edge indeed. I do think there was a to-do kind of placeholder for a migration script in this migration guide. So yes, fingers crossed, it's nice and easy.
When is it like?
People are treating the existence of the migration scripts as an indication that it's in.
Yeah, because they've been releasing the release candidates. I can't remember the terminology, so seems close, but I suppose it's ready when it's ready, right? Oh, that's the end of my slides. Thank you for listening.
Do you want to show us your thing?
Well, I was, instead of taking questions, I was going to ask you a question, which is, what did I miss here? Because I'm sure I missed some important stuff.
I thought you did great.
Thank you.
No, thank you. It was a great talk.
Should we talk about ourselves?
Yeah, take an interval. Sounds good.
We will take a quick break and be back in like 10 minutes. See you soon.
This is a very small project. I was just, filling my time with. I was like, it's got Svelte in it. I can talk about it. I can talk about it for some time. Thank you.
Very simple Svelte hardware demo.
Yeah.
Cool. No slides. So we're all just.
This is going to be completely just off the dome.
Are you seeing the screen?
That's a good point. I do need to share the screen. Cool. I don't need that. Yeah.
Sure, cable there.
Excellent. Okay. Oh yeah, I'll share the screen quickly. Yeah. Great. Might have given the game away a little bit. This was a project that, I've had my Raspberry Pi sitting around for some time, and I had some time recently that I've been wanting to do some hardware things with it. So this was one of those projects. I didn't have a lot of components to plug into stuff with it. So I just had 3 LEDs. And I was like, okay, I should buy a kit with a bunch of things. So it's got motors and servos and a bunch of other things. It's got a display, which I'd like to use at some point. It's like a OLED display, but it's like an inch across. So there's I'm not gonna be able to display much on that. But in setting that up, it also has this. I guess this is the best visual aid. Oh, I'll come back to the code. And so it's a 4-segment display. It's down here, very small. I'll show this on the camera later. But this was, getting the GPIO pins and all the different parts of Raspberry Pi working together, get that all working, and then also make it so that you can interact with it in real time. Because you can write a script that will, link the LEDs or whatever. But it's a lot more fun when you can. Here's a link. I can send this to my friends, and they can just type in rude words, basically. So it's connected, the cables and everything. So it's connected to the Raspberry Pi, and then it's running a Svelte app, and then you can interact with that. Oh, 1 second. That working? Great. Get some Infinity Mirror. So this was setting this up, learning to, run this screen the way that it requires. So we can talk a bit about the hardware side of this. So the way that the pins work on here is, there's all your, 5 volts, ground, all of the different pins that you have with the GPIO pins. And the way that you drive this display is you need to give it basically a binary, a set of bits that will say how each of the segments will turn on or off. It's called a 7 segments display, so that's these 7 segments. There's actually an 8, that's the decimal point. So you can just send bytes to the screen and it will display them. One other thing that you need to do is, because of the way that this particular screen works, what you send to, it's only got 8 pins for all 4 digits. So you send all 4 digits one at a time, and then you basically flash them on sort of precision of vision. So you have the first one on, put the bits for it, turn it off, second one on, bits, and so on. So you don't see it because it's a lot faster, it's not flickering. But that's one thing that you need to keep in mind when you're putting in what you want to show on the screen. So that's a bunch of wires, but the cool thing is that you only need, it uses a shift register, which if you've used the hardware things before, that's where the setting the individual bits comes from. So you just need 3 pins. So you need 3 outputs, high, low. So you just need 3 pins that can toggle all 8 or however many bits you want, because you need a latch, a clock, and a data pin. If anyone's done any hardware stuff in university, that might be familiar. And then you can also control whether each individual digit is on or off. So you just turn off the whole signal for the second digit, for example. With that, so that's all the Raspberry Pi side of things. That's all done in Python because that's the easiest way to do it. And it works really well. I've done some of these hardware projects a few years ago, and that was all done in Python. It was like very basic WebSockets all running through Python. But the thing with that is that your loop, where it's handling all of the input, is basically just, you've got a while loop, and it's just saying, give me input, do it, that's it. So the thing that I was trying to figure out and get working is how do I add the interactivity to that without you're just stuck in that loop of it's just waiting for input. So that's where I was trying to figure out, okay, maybe we need some threading. That's not something that Python's great at, but basically how do we send data from the client whenever they're sending it to the Raspberry Pi to show it on the screen. So that's the Raspberry Pi side of things. Then on the Svelte side, I just needed a really quick, simple front end to be able to show what you can do with it, and then add some other functionality that we'll get to later. So what? Oh, doesn't like the video source. Trying to think. You don't need anything custom, even like this. There's a really nice skew 6 that gives you this nice slant on the digits, which looks almost exactly like what it is here. And then you can just sort of click on the different things, and it will show you what you want to show. Another thing you can do, this was just like ease of life thing. If I hold down space, you can paint over it just to make it easier to put in large. There's a lot of Svelte warnings saying don't put on-click handlers here. This is the wrong thing to do. So yeah, the linter's not very happy. So if we go to the demo part, I will try and get the camera working again. So if this all works, is this showing up on the, so that's here. And if I, how do I get out of this? Here we go. If I make this full screen, can you see that? And let me, oh, it's very blurry. Let me put this to the side. It's very blurry. I'm trying to think if there's something else I can try. If you can see the pixel, we'll give it a try. All right, so yeah, that we could try that. Might be a bit. Okay. Okay, that should work. Yeah, do you mind? Yeah. Thank you. Do you want to get more comfortable? Do you want to come this side?
That's fine.
All right, so I mean, yeah, so ideally, both of these will show the same thing. So let's do something very simple. Let's do a 1, 2, 3, 4. And
my hand is not moving. I swear.
Yeah, should we? How is that? Great. Oh, I right-clicked. Great. Yay. So yeah, so that was, I got that working. I was like, okay, great. And I was like, well, you can only do 4 letters. So if you're going to do a longer message, how would you do it? And then so it's, very simple. You add the frame, and then you can just move the digits along. Do something like that, something like that. And then let's do that, for example. So if I do show frames, we should have it scrolling. Hey. And then you can speed it up as well, make it super fast, which let's see if that comes across. It's coming across here. But yeah, so then you can, do all sorts of things, and then I can give it a try. We'll try it a bit later on. I can make it available. Everyone can have a play with it and come see what it's doing. On the Svelte side, because this is a Svelte meetup, it's pretty simple. I guess we can talk a bit about the bits side of this, if you want to keep, or I mean, you can. What it's doing here, I promise you, is what it's doing there. But what we can do is, if I go over to the code is very simple. Yeah. It really does not like the screen share for some reason. Let me share this. Yeah?
No. Wait, my fault, I think. Yes.
Okay, great. That's too big. So the Python code is pretty simple. So it's just you send a bunch of bits. You just send 4 numbers, and we turn those into the bits of those numbers, and then we send that directly to the display. So as an example, we've got the backend running. I open another terminal, and we just curl the backend. So, oh, thank you. And it's about what the URL is. So we have a post to display frames. This is with Pydantic, which is actually really fun to use. I would recommend using its fast API here. We've made it really easy to develop all of this. But yeah, so we have our display frames, and we want to post some data. Is it -D for data? I always forget what it is. Let's see if this works. So I guess just to check what it is sending. So if we have, for example, these frames, what it sends in the back end is, so if I just do show these, it posts to display frames, and it just posts, just the JSON of the frames. So it's just a list of 4 numbers. So it's very simple, and it just has the frame time as well. So it just says, how long should you wait before going to the next frame. So you can see at the end we have this frames array, and then all zeros will be an empty display. So what I can do here, let's give this a try. Okay, it didn't post it. Okay, it's missing. Oh, it's missing frame time. So if we add that at the end, let's say 0.1. It's missing something else. Oh yeah, I think that's what it is. Let me just make sure this as well. Thank you. And then we have what's it missing? Dictionary object. Let me just copy the curl. Copy as curl. Oh, for bash. I've got it implemented in one place. I just need to copy it over. Okay, whatever, that's fine. And then if we it really does not like the sharing. Oh, I thought I was pressing hide. I thought I kept pressing hide. That's what it was. Yes. I really hate that pop-up. I don't know why it's there. Great. Okay. Stream still working?
Yes.
Great. So now, if I do a 1, and I need to get this working again. But if I send that, then we can see back to here. Back to here. This one decimal point is on. And then you can just send random, oh my God, up to 255. So we just type in like, I don't know, 63. That is that, a B with a dot. Oh, I do realize I'm not showing it. That is showing a B with a dot. And then, so then that way, if you just add another frame, so if we do one quickly, let's move it over. Let's do 54. Then it will just flicker really quickly between those two. It's flickering. But yeah, so then it was just once you have the frames working, it's a very simple case of adding different frames and then just making it so you want to do different frames of animation. You can get the current frames, so that's just like if you reload the tab or something, you've lost it, you can still get it back. So you can see the same thing of a B with a dot and then a whatever that is. And yeah, I'm trying to think, was there any other issues I had with it? I mean, this Svelte side was very simple, just a post, a get, some logic to handle frames and a state of a list of a list, and then adding this slider. And then it was like getting the grid and everything to like line up perfectly with the CSS. But that was the project. And then now I don't know what I want to do with it. Maybe add some other bits and pieces. But that was getting it working and all the different things you need to figure out with it. Thank you. Any questions? That is the inspiration I had for it. The dot displays that show like the trains that are coming up. I've been wanting to code my own version of that, and then I can do it with like the OLED display or something. if I buy those components, yeah, build one. I am thinking of buying a 3D printer, so maybe. But yeah, something like that. Really simple stuff. I'm thinking, because it's got a bunch of components, just thinking I make something that just all of them and then just let them all do random things, and it's just really noisy in my room.
And what will the Python make in the interface between the JavaScript browser and the hardware?
The nice thing with Fast API, or I guess Pydantic, is it's got some. So it's the backend side of this. It's all the hardware interaction and the API that it exposes, which is show what's there or here are some frames to display. It's got some really nice things you can do for like validation. So I say a digit is a list of numbers between 0 and 255. I can say the bitmaps is a list of digits, exactly 4 digits. And then all of that validation, I didn't bother putting in the SvelteKit side because the backend's doing it anyway. And that's where it should live anyway. But it was very simple. So like the hardware side of this is, there's this segment display class that just has the 3 pins that it's using. So the 22, 23, 24. It's setting up a thread that it's running, which is handling all the hardware interaction. So in this loop, which is what's running on there, it will sort of see what the current time is, like where should we be in an animation, and then show that with the show bitmaps, and that just does all the sending the right bits down to the display. But yeah, all the hardware interaction and the API is what it was handling.
What did you say that? I know it's mostly in Python and threading. Where was your progress with that?
I mean, Python isn't good for threading, but you can do threads with it. But I mean, here, it's not really a problem. You only need one other thread. So it wasn't a problem in this case. But I think I was thinking about, because I was thinking of, like, I've been trying to learn Go as well. So I was going to maybe do this whole thing in Go, because then you have a nice channels that you can use to handle concurrency and all those things. I think, yeah, at some point.
You could also go the complete other way and install Node on your Raspberry Pi and then run it in like a TypeScript interpreter and build it, which I've done because I thought I don't have time to learn MicroPython for this project. So I spent a day installing Node.js on the Raspberry Pi, and there is actually an NPM library for interfacing with the GPIO.
Oh yeah, there's a
on
library
Node.
for it. Yeah, I exactly. It's all micro events. But yeah.
Of course, James knows that.
Yeah. So the front end and the back end is all running on the Pi. I'm just connecting. So this is the SSH'd into the Pi. One thing with it, I have an older Raspberry Pi, which is like the Raspberry Pi 2. So that one doesn't even have Wi-Fi built in. But like I tried installing Node on that one, and it just said like, there's no Node 24. We don't support ARM whatever anymore.
Raspberry Pi 2 to set up nodes. It's been a couple of years now,
Yeah.
so maybe they've.
I think Node 23 was the last one, and then yeah, now Node 24 has dropped support for that. So you have to find someone else who's bothered to compile it. I tried to compile it, and it froze, and then it died.
You could compile it to native code with Awful.
Oh my god! Yes, just so we don't Python. This is the angle over here.
I don't know if there's a bun for that version of ARM. Maybe that would also work. But yeah. Anything else?
Thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you. It was, I wanted to see as well, could I do it?
Wow, that's excellent.
If you want to see, I'll leave this here for a bit until we head out. Interact.
Oh, can I interrupt?
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Okay, let me turn this
We're gonna do
around.
the paint thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you all for coming. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Oh.